Hi, my name is Dee, and I want to teach you how to make a hand-tied bouquet. It's such a useful technique to know, and I think it's absolutely essential if you work with flowers because it can be used in so many ways for wedding bouquets, but especially everyday bouquets. It's something that I do every single day. And it's like riding a bicycle, right? When you first do it, you never go back. You'll always do it that way. There's, it might look quite simple, and it also is. You just got to get that technique down, and then when you have it, you'll never forget. So it's just repetition. You just got to practice, and then you will get it. And it could be very simple. I actually find a lot of times you could just use like a bunch of anything. The greens are really good to learn how to do that spiral. You don't always need to go and use flowers because you want to do it over and over again, especially at the beginning, and the flowers really turn into mush after a while. So I have roses. I have a nice filler here, dianthus stalks, and this wheat grass and some snaps. And then I have salal and a little bit of pistachio if I need that. I might not need it. Let me see if we do. So at the beginning, when you want to learn how to do the spiral, don't worry so much about how the top of the plant, like how the bouquet actually look like. Just worry about getting the spiral right. But after a while, then you'll have that down, and then you start thinking about how it should look like on top. So I have to obviously show it like I'm right-handed. So left-handed, you have to do it opposite. It's quite hard for me to show the other way, but I'll show you as right-handed. You start with a middle flower, and then you put the next one on top. So the thing to remember is to you you play like the violin, like this. So when I hold it like I'm playing the violin, that's exactly how it goes on to the next flower. So if I just do roses, violin, you can also say you tap your left shoulder, violin, and the way that you hold it, like you would play the violin, that's exactly how it goes into the binding point. I've seen so many different ways of explaining it. Some says that do the violin and let it fall slow, like run down your arm and then into here. And then we can see that the spiral is starting to shape. But that's the most important thing to start with, is that do the violin and then it goes right on top. One more thing, I can explain it a little bit later when we're further down, but if you've never done a hand tie before, I would recommend that you do it this way, where it goes straight down and then all the way around. It can be done the other way, where it goes on the outside and then all the flowers go this way. So then it goes here. And I see a lot of people doing that. There's nothing wrong with that, with doing it that way. I just find it's a little more natural to do the stems this way, like the violin, like this way around, than it is to do it counterclockwise. I would say I would do it clockwise. So if you're new at it and you don't have the, the habit of doing it a certain way, definitely start up where you do it clockwise around the middle stem. Okay, so let's try. When you start up, it's also good to have a little bit of extra green that helps you support and have everything stay. I sort of do like a little circle in my hand. So this is where it sits all the time. It's always, the trick is a little bit to get started too. You just sort of have to get some flowers in your hand. So now I should do it slow. So over your shoulder, violin, in, straight in here. Or tap your shoulder. That's what I was trying to say, not over your shoulder. Tap your shoulder. Tap the shoulder. straight in. And then, so it always goes this way. So let's try that. And that is sort of what takes a little bit of time to get used to. And then every couple of flowers, do a quarter turn, and then you put right on the front again here. And again. Put a little bit of green in because it helps my flowers stay nice and separated, because that's what your flowers want to do. They want to go so tight, and you don't want them that tight. Right? Quarter turn. Oh. See, now I had to remember to do it the way, because after a while you can start putting it on the back. I'm so used to it, so I don't turn it all the time, but turn it at the beginning. So violin, put it straight on. Violin, straight on. Violin. These grasses in here because they're fun. Turn it around. And when you turn it, you hold it here tight, and then don't sort of totally let go of this hand. Just sort of loosen up and turn it. So I'm just going to take this here out. It doesn't get too many roses in there. Put it on the outside. You can also turn it upside down. Then it's easier on the hand, and then turn it like this. Because sometimes when you hold it like this, it starts getting heavier now, heavier and heavier all the time, obviously. So then when you turn it upside down, you can also relax your hand a little bit, and then you turn it. I'm a little up against the wall here, but if you give yourself a little more space than I have here. Violin. I like the violin. That to me, if I had to learn it, I think would be the thing that I would think about. Like this, that you play the violin and then put the stem in. Oh. So you can move them a little bit. I do this here because I want you to also have something pretty to look at when I'm doing it. But you shouldn't worry too much at the beginning about how the top of the bouquet actually look like. Just get that spiral correct so you can see how that is a spiral here. And The benefit of the spiral bouquet is that it's really small here because there's no crisscrossing. And I can really squeeze these stems when I tie it to without damaging the stems. So that's sort of a major reason why it's such a good thing to do to your bouquets. Right? And I'm also like in full control of where the stems are. Like they stay exactly where I want them to be. Use up a little bit. So when you've done hand-tied bouquets for a while, like I have, you can start poking in, but don't do that at the beginning. But I poke right into the binding point so that it keeps the spiral. That's not important at the beginning. Let's see where we need one. These little dianthus, they add a little bit of life to it. I think that's why I want to use them. You don't see them a lot, but they're still in there and they give a nice little texture. Okay, I think I have enough flowers in here. Put one more of these grasses in. And then put a little bit of salal here at the bottom because it looks nice to finish it off. And of course, it's very, very important that you have all your flowers all cleaned and stripped for greens so that there's no greens at all below the binding point. See how there's no greens here at all below here. So for all of you who have done this a lot, of course, you try to make sure that in this case here, that the roses are roughly the same height, which looks more interesting to have the roses one height and the snaps all being one, snapdragons being one height and the stalks being one height roughly, because it give more coherence in how it all looks overall. Same with the little dianthus here, that they sit a little bit deeper, so they're just like for the texture when you look into the bouquet, right? So they are roughly the same size, height, should be. And I would actually like one in there, if I could get one in the middle. Let's see if I can. There. See how that this looks really nice in there. Nice big hand-tied bouquet, and it's something that I so hope you all learn. And I'm making this nice bouquet here, and it's actually one of the things that I was looking at a couple on YouTube to see how people showed how to do hand ties, and I think we all a little bit make them too big, because in general, how often do you have $300 for a hand tie? And if it's something that you like me to show a little bit more about how to do something more every day, I can definitely do that. Put that in the comments below and we could do that. But we also like to show you all these nice ones here, right? Because they are truly beautiful. nice to take the time to give them a angle cut, but I just want to show you like how this looks. And the grasses makes it really interesting because they blow a little bit in the wind. But a nice combo. I want you all to try that and let me know how it goes.